So here we go. The thing starts with this little girl writing a letter to Santa,
Dear
and I was like,
Santa.
"Here's the thing. I thought some. Have you ever done like on these weird? Um, uh, oh, by the way, um, this movie is free. If you would like to watch it, please spare yourself. But if you would like to watch it, it's free on
Free
Tubi.
on Tubi. Don't even need to create a
No,
login. God
no,
bless.
free on Tubi. But you if you Google if you like Google if you put Santa just Santa into the search bar, there are hundreds of movies on Tubi with Santa in the title,
Yeah,
and
but they don't have Hulk Hogan.
this does not appear in the first like 3 pages. You have to dig for this.
Do we
They're
know
like,
what Santa with Muscles did at the box office, or was this a straight to DVD vehicle?
I don't know.
I'm gonna Google it because I want to know.
You should. If this movie came out also, which is kind of funny too. If this movie came out in December of 1996, is that not does that not post date Hulk Hogan joining the NWO? So among the children who watched wrestling in 1996, he would have been viewed by them as the biggest villain in wrestling. Because the older kids and the adults loved the NWO, but the kids hated them,
Yeah.
especially Hulk Hogan, because he turned his back on the WCW to join the Outsiders. And you're presenting a few months later a Christmas movie starring him as Santa. I can't imagine this would reach the target audience they had hoped for.
I also, so this is funny. I actually put out a tweet the other day that was like, what were the most heartbreaking heel turns of
Mhm.
for you? And
Mhm.
so many of them were Hogan.
Mhm.
Like so many of them were Hogan. And so the people who said that would have been the people that they were trying to get to see this movie. He does kind of start as a heel, and then he has a nice little baby face turn.
That's true. But anyway, the girl is writing a Christmas, and it was one of those things. Anyway, the
Yeah,
reason I said this, why I brought
Santa.
the whole Tubi thing, is that some occasionally, with really obscure titles on these lower streaming services, the wrong file will be loaded to the wrong thing. So, like, if you click on it, you're clicking to the wrong file because they put it out. They just did the database is wrong. So I was concerned I was watching the wrong Christmas movie because the first 4 minutes are this little girl narrating, who I've never seen before, narrating her Christmas letter to Santa that she wants somebody to help with the orphanage she lives or something.
Well, no, she
Um,
writes the letter about the mad scientist who's doing Mr.
there you
Frost,
go.
who's
And I
doing
was like,
bad
I didn't
things.
I didn't know there was a mad scientist in this movie.
Which, by the way, after having watched so much of Schlocktober, I was
Mhm,
like, wrong gimmick, bro.
mhm,
This felt so Halloweenish.
right.
This was
Um,
just wrong. I will also let you
so
know that The Santa Claus with Tim Allen came out in 1994. So this was like probably the next great Santa follow-up
Oh,
movie.
yeah, sure. When did
I don't
Jingle All the
know if
Way
it
come out?
was. Oh,
98? I'm not
I'm
sure.
not. I'm not gonna make you watch that.
No,
We
you're
got
not.
too much other stuff to get
We
through.
got we just no. I already did one Arnold movie. You're not gonna make me do another Arnold comedy. Does he give birth in this one too? I we see. Speaking of Arnold, we see Hulk Hogan in a parody of the scene in Commando where Colonel John Matrix infiltrates a drug lord's mansion by systematically killing all of the guards. It is a parody of that with Hulk Hogan wearing a wig. The character's not wearing a wig. Hulk Hogan, I suppose, like the character of Blake Thorne, couldn't be bald because he'd be too vain for that. So he's wearing a very obvious toupee, and they've trimmed his trademark mustache down so it's very much more businesslike. And he's wearing battle fatigues, and he fights an army of gardeners, and there's a chef and a chauffeur, and he fights them all. Not like lethally or anything. He just punches them in the face or throws something at them. One of them gets tossed over a balcony, but it's not a very far fall. One of the little gardeners can do karate. But anyway, after a while, he's fought to a stalemate where he's standing in the middle and they're all surrounding him. One of them has a weed whacker pressed very close to his face. And then he's like, all right, time. And 4 minutes and something said, 4 minutes. 4 minutes. You call that exercise? And all these guys are like, oh, thank you, sir. Whatever. And then he's got a butler there with him. I don't know what the butler's name is.
But he also says, because they're overselling, let's call it what it is. They're Shawn Michaels him.
They're Shawn Michaelsing him.
They're Shawn Michaelsing him. He goes, you guys just want your Christmas bonus. And I was like, immediately, I can't buy into this movie because I can't buy Hulk Hogan not wanting his ego stroked. There's no, no way. There's no way. Sorry to derail us so early, but this did a whopping $220,000 at the box office.
Nice. Kind of a miscalculation there, I guess, from the PR people. Yeah. So this is Blake Thorne. Blake Thorne is a mega millionaire whose thing is like protein shakes and health food and exercise equipment. There was a very big thing in the mid 90s called Body by Jake. There was a guy, Italian fella, big muscles, Body by Jake. He had a whole line of health food and electronic equipment and videos, a line of videos you could buy. And I'm really surprised they didn't go all the way and just have it Body by Blake. I'm very surprised because that's basically what they've turned this guy into.
That would involve being clever.
Anyway, yes. But so there's some kind of charity ball he's supposed to go to, or no, they want to have the charity ball at his mansion,
of course,
and he doesn't want to because he has like several hundred rules, and he quizzes his staff. Rule number 91, and they're like, and he remembers it, but I don't remember what the rules are, but they're all very selfish rules.
Of course. Because he's a selfish guy. Because he's a businessman. And he fights his staff and then quizzes them. So definitely sounds like a great dude to work for.
RESPECT. Click the subscribe button and find out what it means to me. Nah, that doesn't have a ring to it. But if you like videos about real news stories that are funny, stupid, or weird, subscribe now.